Welcome back to our weekly coach interview here on BCHS Bear TV. I'm your host, Gary Ownbey, being joined today by Bearettes Central head coach Jason Reuter, along with assistant coach Amy, I start to call you Frazier, Amy Prophet Tinsley. We'll start with Coach Reuter first here. Coach, last week, one game under a belt, on Friday night, big District 5 AAA matchup with Cleveland High School Crosstown, and the Bearettes won at 67-52. Talk about that game a little bit, your thoughts on that.
Well, anytime you get a win against Crosstown Rival, that's positive. People are used to us winning that game by large margins in recent years. It hasn't always been that way, but Cleveland is improved. I said that in the paper, and I'll say it again. Cleveland is better, and it took us a while to pull away, but we win by 15 points. Neither team played perfect, but I think the better team won, but I'm going to tip my hat to Cleveland and say they're definitely making strides. But I just want our girls to concentrate one game at a time. That game is over. That's such an emotional game. Look,
Right.
There's 2,800 people in the crowd. Great atmosphere, great night. I see some people, and my wife is from this town, and I didn't grow up here, but there's people that she or I will see. Only time of year we'll see them is the Bradley Cleveland game.
Yeah.
And so it brings out a lot of excitement, and I'm blessed to be a part of it. I don't know these girls, I hate to tell them this, a lot of them, even the ones that go out and play college basketball, may not play in front of a crowd that big.
I agree.
Depending on what level they go. So
Yeah.
anyhow, great night, great atmosphere, and we got to move on.
Well, obviously a huge crowd. It was electric. That gymnasium was rocking. Jim Smeedy Arena. Bears fell a little short. Hot shooting Cleveland boys team, and give them credit for that. They really shot amazingly well in that game. Coming up, we're recording this on Tuesday. You got a huge district doubleheader tonight with East Hamilton, who most folks picked in the media and the coaches poll to finish second to us in the district in the preseason way back when. It's going to be a good battle here. Of course, they've got the Miss Basketball winner from last year, Madison Hayes. We had Ryan Howard the year before that. So pretty strong district we're in when you start looking at players like that over and over in all state and all region, all area players we have. I expect you to see a big battle tonight out of the Lady Hurricanes.
Absolutely. Anytime you have Miss Basketball, you're have a chance to win any game. I was at their place and watched them lose to Innsworth 50-48. And then you know what type of team Innsworth has. I mean, we're not overlooking this team at all.
Better not.
I told our girls yesterday this could be a trap game. You're coming off of a big emotional game against Cleveland, and you've already beaten this team in your Thanksgiving tournament by 35. Look, I told you, I think after that tournament, they're not built to play 3 games in 2 days, and they had a starter out, LeBoux. So, this team is very dangerous. They played a very tough schedule. Their record does not look very impressive. I think they're just a game or two above 500.
6-5, I believe.
6-5, but they've lost to us. They've lost to Innsworth. They've lost to Bearden. They've lost to Maryville. I'm leaving somebody else out that's pretty good, but we're expecting to go, toe-to-toe with a team that, our girls realize, I think, that the bar has been raised. That now that we're defending state champions, the bullseye is even bigger.
Yes, it sure is.
And we have teams around us that are capable of beating us if we don't bring. We don't have to play perfect. Nobody's going to play perfect. I just try to encourage my girls to do what you've been taught in practice. Play as hard as you can, and we know what we got to do tonight. We got to keep Madison Hayes. You check back to me after the game. We got to keep Madison Hayes out of the lane. If she gets in the lane on a consistent basis, we will be in trouble.
Yeah.
Our prediction, if she doesn't, then we'll be okay.
Well, we'll find out soon enough that game there. Let's go over to Coach Tinsley and talk to her. She's a former Bearette, played back in the mid-90s for Coach Paul Cretton. Paul had a pretty good run. 6 years he was here. He went to the state finals 1 year in '95 and lost to Chevelle, who had Rick Inslee at the time coaching there. You were a guard, wing player, I guess, 2 or 3. Is that what?
I was one.
A one, the point guard.
I was point guard.
Okay, and then you left. You signed with Western Carolina, and went on there for a while, came back and finished up your career at Lee, much like a lot of the coaches around here. Matter of fact, the whole Bradley staff, except for Keith Freeman, are Lee graduates.
That's right.
What is your role in the program? I know you being a female, and it's a girls' team, I'm sure you hear things that Coach Reuter probably wouldn't hear from the girls who need counseling or consoling, or you're the mother hen, sort of,
I am kind of Mama Bear.
Mama Bear, okay.
With our team. I try, my role is to be an encourager to these girls. It's bigger, our program is bigger than just basketball. We try to prepare these girls for life. And, my goal is to keep these girls positive, keep them together, keep them strong, keep our chemistry good. And then my job is also to work the computer at times when we have to send rosters or schedules or uploading film, or so kind of a jack of all trades.
I don't think Jason can spell PC, let alone operate one. I know he leans on you a lot, and I do too. I'll give you credit. You help me a lot as well.
I text Amy probably 5 days a week. Sometimes on the weekend. I try not to bother her, but anything technical that I need done, I go to Amy and or Coach Tinsley, I should call her here, but so I do lean on that. It takes, when you're trying to run a program like this one with all the we're going to Naples, Florida, they just say, hey, let's jump in a van and go to Naples, Florida, You got to book rooms. We got to book rooms. We haven't even booked rooms where we're going to stay on the way down yet, Amy, so we got to get that done.
Amy?
I'll make a note.
We know where we're staying when we get there, but it's a lot of logistics, and there's a lot of planning, from ordering tennis shoes to uniforms to make sure the sizes are right. I told somebody the other day, I'm the Bearettes coach 365 days a year. I may not be working every day, but Coach Tinsley is the Bearette assistant all year long, not just during basketball season. Yeah. But I'm blessed to have her and Katie both. Maybe we'll get Katie on the air tomorrow, and Keith. But it's always good to have a former, I think, you got someone that, look, Jim Smitty didn't go to Bradley High.
Nope.
I didn't go to Bradley High. I know you did, Amy did, but I think it's good to have that person in your staff that went to school here, and the pride, that pride of not just, I went to school here, but I played on this team.
Right.
And I know what it means.
And she played on a very successful team.
Very successful, yes.
She knows how hard they had to work to get there, too.
She knows how hard it is to get to the glass house, because she played on great teams that didn't get there. One bad night.
Yeah.
One bad night against the right team, and it's over. So I didn't mean to steal Amy's thunder.
Oh, no.
Any more questions? You want to ask her what she would do?
Yeah, I want to ask her.
If she was the head coach, what would she do different?
Yeah, exactly. What would you do different if you were head coach? Would you change all the starters? Would you fire the other coaches and get your own staff, or fire the announcer and get you a different announcer?
Just like Holly Warlick taking over Pat Summit, it's a tough job. So whoever eventually follows this man, it's going to be a tough job. I'm not sure I want to do that.
I understand that. Well, let me ask you this. In the position that you have as an assistant coach, I had Katie Frazier on the radio in our pregame show Friday talking about her being a post player at Lee in the Hall of Fame and what she does working with posts. Do you work with the wings and the guards that help with shooting or the defense or all of that, or just?
Yeah, usually when we break up on two ends, our posts go one way and our guards go the other, and it's my job to help our guards, if they need to work on their driving and get to the rim or their shot. If I see something in their shot when they're not falling, I try to tweak it and let them know, in a positive way, I see this, and I think they respect me and listen to me, and
something's working.
Take what I have to say, to heart, and I really try. Everything I do, I try to make us better.
One more question for you. I know before you came to Brad as assistant, you were in the world of banking. What made you decide, I want to be a coach, I want to be a teacher?
I think
anything in particular?
From early on, if you'd have asked me when I was a teenager, what's your dream job, it would have been to coach PE and coach basketball, or teach PE and coach basketball. Life didn't work out that way for me. I chose a different path when I got to college, but after being 12 years in banking, I decided it was time for a change, and God opened the doors for me to come back here, and it just kind of fell in my lap. I was thankful and blessed that Coach Reuter and Todd Shoemaker gave me a chance to come back and teach and coach. And
on staff here?
This will be year 7 for me.
Your 7th year, and Reuter this year 10th. Coach Reuter.
10 on the girls' side. Yeah,
on the girls' side, yeah. Well, let's talk about coming up now. We've talked about the East Hamilton game this coming weekend. We got another challenge. I mean, your schedule doesn't get any easier. I mean, if anything, it's getting tougher because now you got 2 top 10 teams that you're going to have to face on the road at Farragut when you play Bearden on Thursday at 4:30, who was unbeaten until they lost, or no, they beat Farragut. They're still unbeaten. And then Farragut, who just lost their first game of the year to Bearden last Friday night, we play Farragut Friday night at their place. So, Coach, who made out this crazy schedule? I mean, who do we blame for this or give credit to?
I'm going to blame this one on Chuck Clark.
Okay.
Coach Clark arranged, he asked me if I would play in this classic, but we owed Farragut a game last year, and we couldn't work it out, so, but we're giving them 2. You know, we're going to play Bearden, and we play Bearden, like you said, it's undefeated. There's an unofficial poll that is out there that they're ranked #1 in the state, and I think we play them at 4:30. Farragut was supposed to play Houston. Houston has since dropped out, so Farragut has an off night now. That's no advantage to us.
No.
You know why? They get to scout us and not even worry about Houston. They're preparing for us.
And you're forced to play back-to-back nights while they're not.
Yeah, so what is Farragut in this unofficial poll? Number 4, 5?
They're
Four,
in top
four, I think.
5, I know, yeah. I
So-
think we came in 7th this week.
On paper, if you went by that, we're an underdog in both games. So, and then you got to factor that Farragut gets prepared for us. I'm sure they play someone tonight, and then their whole game plan, they get Wednesday, Thursday to get ready for us. And I've looked at a little bit of Bearden film, 1/2, but there's no way. The importance of, much as I hate to admit this, because we have a lot of pride and we don't want to lose, we're playing 3 games in a row that we could lose. Okay, now you say, well, we're favored tonight, we should be, but if I had to pick, you know, which game could I just earmark guaranteed win, tonight's game is more important than those 2.
Absolutely.
Because it's a district game.
Yeah.
So I haven't even talked to my girls about Bearden or Farragut yet because there's no reason to get the cart in front of the horse. We
Need
talk
to
about
focus.
one game at a time, one
Focus
game
on
at a
this
time.
one, yeah.
So we'll have one day to turn around, and I hope it's after a victory, and get ready for Bearden. But, you know, it is what it is at this point.
Well, and this will be our last show before the Christmas break because everybody's going to be gone off on different places and all over the place. Speaking of that, though, let's talk about it a little bit. We do know now our first game at the Naples MaxPreps Shootout in Naples, Florida. I think it's at Barron Collier High School down there. Will be against St. Rose, a team out of New Jersey. And I know you know nothing about them, except that they're pretty dang good to be invited to be one of the 16 teams there.
I know a little bit about them. I did a little research. It's kind of a small world. My daughter that played at Rebecca, that played at Middle Tennessee. I happened to be at Riverdale football game. We played Riverdale up there, I guess her sophomore year, and she had a young lady that had flew in from New Jersey and was on her first trip to Middle Tennessee, and they had offered her a scholarship. And Rebecca was her host that night. So I meet this young girl, and her name was Laura, and she came from this school.
The one we're going to play?
The one we're going to play, St. Rose, yeah. So I knew a little bit about them, but I didn't. So I looked up online, and they have won the private state championship the last 2 years in New Jersey.
Oh.
And they've got 4 girls that have signed letters of intent, and their best player is signed with the University of Florida. And then they're counted down. They got 3 more that signed with not as big or name schools, but still, you know, 4-year institutions. So they've got 4 scholarship seniors. So I don't know. They didn't play their first game until the 12th. Am I right,
That's right.
Amy? I looked on MaxPreps, and the results was not on there. We've sent some requests for film. Haven't got any back yet. But remember, they didn't play till the 12th. And I think they play 3 games total before this tournament. So did I say we had a chance to lose 3 in a row? I should have said there's 6 games in a row that we could possibly lose if we're not ready to play. Possibly. I know you say, well, that'd be unheard of, but
You got to coach them up.
East Ham, Bearden, Farragut, and then I just told you, I give you a lot of information about St. Rose right there, didn't I?
Sure did. A lot more than I knew about.
Yeah, back-to-back state champions, 4 college signees in one class.
Wow.
So we'll get a dose of, we're going down there to have a good time. We're going down there to win, but
Need to enjoy it too and relax.
we need to enjoy it, and the kids will look forward to it. But I know you had to ask me that because it's the last show before the break. If we win that game, we're lined up more than likely. The favorite of the team that we would play is, you ever heard of a team called Westlake?
Yes.
That went 37-0 last year and won
I
the
didn't know
state.
that.
If we win and they win, we'll play them in the second round.
And they beat us last year.
Two
Yeah.
state champs. Yeah, they beat us last
Yeah.
year. Yeah,
And they've got
Florida.
They've got virtually the same team back. So, and after that, I can't.
Well,
there's third.
Let's get East Ham tonight.
Let's get East Ham.
Let's get East
One
Ham.
at a time. One at a time.
Coach, before we go, we're going to wrap things up here. You've got 2 youngsters now. Are they athletic in any sense or regard, or are they video game guys or what?
Unfortunately, my heart has been okay with them not playing sports.
Okay.
They're very good in the classroom, straight A students.
You have one here at
My
Bradley,
oldest
lady.
one's a freshman. He's in the TVEC program. Hopefully he continues with that, which means he will have his associate's degree when he graduates from Bradley.
Great.
I'm very proud of that. So I've got really good kids, really well-mannered, and that's all as a parent I can ask for.
And Mark, I guess, gets to babysit a lot because you're here in
I'm very,
Jim a
very
lot.
grateful for my husband
I
to
wanna let you have a chance
take
to
care of that role.
give
yes.
him a shout out too.
I couldn't do this without him,
know.
and I know Melissa Reuter and Justin Frazier would say the same thing. Mindy Frazier as well.
Sometimes you wonder how any of us stay married because we're gone so
Mindy
much.
That's
Freeman.
Mindy Freeman. I'm sorry.
Mindy, yeah.
Yeah, this is more than just us. It's people sacrificing around us. We talk all the time about the amount of people that are involved in this in a basketball program, especially if it's a good program. You're involved with this program. I don't know if your wife wants you out of the house or in the house. You may be glad that you're
Depends
involved.
on what kind of mood she's in.
But there's a lot of, this thing branches out much farther than people realize.
Yeah.
There's people sacrificing, like, hey, let's go to Sunday, we can run down to so-and-so. No, I gotta make a practice schedule out, and I gotta watch film. I gotta get ready we got East Ham on Tuesday. I got 2 practices. So you're affecting a lot of people's lives. But we're all blessed, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
When you run an elite program, it takes a lot of sacrifice by a lot of folks, and that's what we run here at Bradley Central. We're going to wrap things up here on the Bradley Central, the BCHS Bear Network. This is available on YouTube as well as on Facebook. You can hear the broadcast of tonight's game on 104.1 The Mix, streaming worldwide on the smartphone app, and also it will be televised video with our audio on BCHS Bear Network. Mr. Winslow and his folks will have it going for you there. Be sure and tune in. Come to the game. We had a tremendous crowd here Friday night. Come to the game first, support us. Follow the Bearettes Thursday and Friday in Knoxville at Farragut, 4:30 on Thursday afternoon, 6 o'clock on Friday evening, and then they'll be going to Naples, and we'll return. Our first game after the new year will be January the 7th. We'll be on the road to not East Town, but Walker Valley, the big district game. First game back after the break will be there. Until then, for Coach Reuter, Coach Tinsley, this is Gary Ownbey. Thank you guys for being here.
you.
We'll say
Thank
so
you.
long for now. God bless, and go Bears.